Hi guys, welcome to the Little Miss Tony Cooking Show. Today for our show we're going to make homemade meatballs on top of subs for a sandwich. You're going to love them. These are my own special recipe with a little touch of stuff that my mom's taught me since I've been little. Alright, we're going to start out with 1.5 pounds of ground chuck, 1.5 pounds of ground pork. We're going to start out with a cup of breadcrumbs, 3 eggs. We're going to have some garlic, Parmesan, oregano, pepper, salt, and a little bit of milk. And some diced onion and some raisins, believe it or not. All right, we're going to start out with chopping up the raisins. We're going to cut them up kind of little so that no one really knows they're in there. Raisins give a great sweetness to a meatball. So that's all done up for us. And now I have a red and a green pepper over here by the sign. We're going to cut that up while we got a second. This is going to go with our sub for the very end to dress her up with. Also I'm going to use is a couple slices. And that's all we need. Just slice it. So go on top of our sub. I like to use red pepper because it's sweeter. And all red pepper is a pepper that's been on the vine longer. But it becomes sweeter as it sits on the vine longer. Okay. So I'm going to put my rubbers on because I just don't like sticking my hands inside of this. All right. So everybody has their own meatball recipe. We're going to take and we're going to mix her up. All right, we're going to stick our onions in. That's probably 1.5 cups of onions. Our breadcrumbs for binding, salt. We're going to stick oregano. I make these meatballs at the restaurant, and I really love them. And then let's stick probably about 1 tablespoon of garlic, Parmesan cheese, like 2 tablespoons. All right, now let's crack our eggs. I always crack them over here because then I can see whether or not I'm going to get any shells or not. And I'm not. All right. Put this away. And we're going to give our little bit of raisins, kind of break them up a little bit so they're not all stuck to one meatball. All right, we're going to move this around. Get this mixed up a little bit. Whoops. As I throw stuff over the side. All right. Now I want to put some milk in it. Ground chuck doesn't have a lot of moisture. It's about 1/2 cup. A little bit of pepper. You can make, if you want to try this recipe and you want to see if it has enough spice in it, you can make a little sample meatball, just cook up one and then try it. But I like these, they're nice and moist. And I love the raisins, it's an old Italian trick for moisture and sweetness into a meatball. All right, you don't want to play with your mixture a lot because the more you play with it, the more tougher your meatball becomes. So Just want to make sure everything's incorporated. Pull my gloves back up. Get myself probably about a 3-ounce meatball. Oh, I guess I need my tray. All right. You're going to put your oven on at 350. I'm going to roll these meatballs out. They're pretty good size. They'll probably take about a good hour. What you want is for them to be about 155, 160, and then let them rest about 10 more minutes so they finish cooking a little bit more. As you can see, I'm pretty used to doing this, so we get pretty consistent sizes here. And otherwise, you could take your food thermometer, put it at, it should be at 165 is what you want something that's ground and stuffed to be cooked up to. So, like I said, if you pull it out about 155, 160, she'll go up to 165 once it sits there and rests. And that also brings back the moisture into your meatballs. So, and then what we're gonna do is we're just gonna fry up them red peppers and the green peppers that we cooked up with some onion and some sauce and toast our bun, and we'll be good to go. So I'm just gonna take these, finish these up, get them into the oven, go rest and watch a soap opera or something for about an hour, and I'll see you when the meatballs are done. Okay guys, so I pulled the meatballs out, and of course, I have to cut and test one. Oh, they're excellent. Okay, now we're gonna put together a sub. We're gonna turn the burner on, grill our bread, get nice little grill marks on it. And let's turn our pan on to saute some onion and some red pepper and green pepper that we cut up earlier. And let's turn our spaghetti sauce on. Okay. So, we're just gonna open our bread up. I don't like to cut it all the way. I kind of still like that little pocket. So what I'm gonna do is give it a little shot of olive oil. All right, then I'm gonna move it over. Whoa, move it over here. You can even stick a plate down if you want. This is our sub bun stuff that we use at the restaurant. Okay, and we're gonna put some olive oil in our pan because we're gonna saute some onions and some red peppers. Let's get a nice little stir on our spaghetti sauce, make sure it gets nice and warm. We're gonna throw in onion, a red and green pepper. Cook that down. Just give it a nice little toss. We don't want our bread to burn. Keep an eye on it. See, it doesn't really have much marking yet, so that can cook a little bit more. In the meantime, we're gonna slice our meatballs in half. All right, 3/4, that should be about enough for our stuff. Maybe I'll stick the little plate down on this for a second. Hey, 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 Stephen, what are you doing? That's for the sub. You can't hold him back when he wants to eat. You don't have to be a professional flipper, but you do have to know how to flip, I guess. All right. This is quick and this is easy. It's good. I like to turn both them on, then that way I get both ends here even heat, so it's not one end to the other. Our sauce is bubbling. I got some mozzarella cheese. I got some potato chips. Oh, look at, I got a spot on my plate. I Gotta have my plate all nice and pretty. All right, I just wanna get that hot enough. Oh yeah, it's almost there. These meatballs this is what I make up at the restaurant. They're great in spaghetti, great on top of ravioli, great in subs. I mean, they're just an all-around meatball. I mean, I do make some that are breaded, stuffed with mozzarella in the middle and stuff, but I don't like them as well for a meatball sub as I do this. I'm gonna shut my sauce off. Yeah, that's good. Got a nice little char on our sandwich. So let's get a little bit of sauce right here on this side. A little bit of sauce right there on that side. Let's put our mozzarella cheese in it. Let's break it into pieces. All right. Bring it over here. See, I cut the meatballs in half so it's easier to eat this way. All right, let's add just a little more sauce. That should be plenty of sauce. Oh yeah. You can cook these down more if you want to. I wouldn't sweat it. There we go. Now that's a sub. And let's give us a couple potato chips. Move our meatballs out of the way. And this is what we're serving today. A meatball sub. Homemade meatballs. Beautiful. Satisfy any hungry man. And maybe I can get my hungry man to come on over here and check it out and take a bite and see what he thinks. Okay, hi.
Baby.
Would you like to try a meatball sub?
You know it.
You want me to cut it in half for you? Or you want to just take an end? Which way you want it?
Right in my mouth.
Oh, you dropped the meatball. You meatball head, you dropped the meatball.
With you, huh?
What's wrong? What's wrong? This is Little Miss Tony, over and out. Ciao, babe. Homemade meatballs. Taste them, they're great.
Mwah.